Hey, it's VSG Barbie, and this video is basically going to be about relationships. Just basically some things that I have been recently dealing with for quite a while now. And um, I guess a little bit about weight loss. Let's talk about how the liquid diet's going so far. Well, I started the liquid diet, I think like 2 days early. Yesterday was hell. I did not even make it through the morning. I started feeling weak and I ate an egg, and then an egg turned into some bullshit that I ate. Um, Not good. And then the second day, which was today, I ate burgers last night and um cake, pie. I mean, I've just gotten ridiculous. And I think that starting my liquid diet early kind of I was trying to prepare myself for the actual liquid diet when actually I realized how much of an eating disorder I really have, and not trying to give myself any type of what do you call it? I can't even figure out the word I'm trying to say, but not trying to make excuses for myself. But when you go through this process, you really see the you really get a chance to like look into the mirror and be like, damn, I am really, 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 really sick. Like, just the thought of eating broth and jello and popsicles, at first I'm like, oh my god, this process is going to be so fun. And I used to be like, oh, I wish I could be on that. I wish I was on a liquid diet, I wish I was getting close to surgery. Now that I'm in those shoes, um, I feel super, super, super pressured. I feel everyone around me is testing me and I'm falling in traps. My mom brought all this food in yesterday, burgers, cookies, pasta, and she was like, oh, you can have some, knowing that I can't have it. And then once I eat it, she goes, oh, you shouldn't be eating that, but you offered it to me. And that just shows you what type of support I have. And it's really, really hard to deal with this. And it's just really hard. So, for anybody out there who's dealing with the same issues, like, I'm here with you. Like, I get it. This shit is hard. It's nothing to play with. And these last 2 days, I think I'm more disgusted in myself than anything. Like, people say you are what you eat, and I feel heavy as hell. From what I've been doing these past, month, I've been on a pre-op diet this past month and I've been doing great. I would eat probably one bad meal a week, and that kind of would help me so I wouldn't go out on a food funeral. Um, RIP my favorite foods, you know. Um, but what I did in these past 2 days have definitely made me feel disgusting. At this very moment, I feel like throwing up. My mother gave me Taco Bell earlier today, and I could have said no, but I felt the need to eat it. And Taco Bell makes me sick. I've already been through this with y'all, and it has nothing to do with. It just makes me sick. I haven't had surgery yet, so it had nothing to do with surgery. It just makes me sick. It's like it gives me the runs. I'm sorry, people are texting me. It gives me the runs. It makes my stomach hurt. It makes my head hurt. And it didn't give me the runs yet. That probably won't happen until tomorrow. But today my head was hurting and my stomach was turning. And right now my stomach feels like shit. Okay. My stomach feels like I can't even like I have the stomach virus, or that my stomach's basically trying to tell me I need to get this shit out of me. It's not going down, it needs to come up. And I'm praying I won't throw up. So after I do this video, I'm going to lay down and try to breathe. And then starting tomorrow, I'm getting back on my shit. Like, I'm not gonna fuck around. Like, I'm going to drink my shakes. I'm going to um drink my shakes. I'm gonna at lunchtime and do a little bit of broth. Um, do a little bit of Jello. You know, I'm gonna stick to my shit starting tomorrow because I believe, starting tomorrow, that's like the real deal. That's when the real liquid diet begins. My app is actually off by a day. Trying to find my app. My app says I have 7 days until surgery. I actually have 8 days till surgery. So 8 days. So really, I'm supposed to be doing the liquid diet starting uh, Friday, but I'm going to start tomorrow, which is Thursday, and I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to stick to it. It is very scary. This whole process is scary. This shit is getting really real, and I'm getting nervous, but I just keep telling myself, you can do this. This is what you really, really want, and this is what's going to make you happy in the long run. Now moving forward with the whole relationship thing, um, I've I've been in relationships probably my whole life, friendships and relationships, and I've never really had a problem with making a friend or getting a date. I haven't had a problem with that area, but I have had a problem with cheating, lying, and just guys are being irresponsible with their feelings. And what I mean by being irresponsible with your feelings, I mean being careless and not giving a shit about how someone else is, how the other person feels. Meaning that they will do things to manipulate you and get what they want. And then once they get what they want, they're gone. And that's another reason why I'm still a virgin. Because I said to myself I wasn't going to allow an asshole to take something really, 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 really important to me away, because that would just make me feel less than a woman. It's like I let you take something that I'm supposed to hold dearly to my heart, something that's supposed to be very, very sacred, and you took it and you manipulated it and you didn't care and you didn't give a shit about it, and I'm supposed to be okay with that? No. So that's like another reason why I'm virgin. And that's also another reason why I'm single. Because a lot of guys, when they realize that I ain't busting it wide open, but seriously, when they realize that I'm not going down that little road with them, then they're just like, well, then I'm done. And with me, that's fine. Because if that's all you give a shit about, then we definitely don't need to talk. And, I've been in love a couple of times, and I don't know if it was real love or not. And it probably wasn't, because but I know that I really cared about them because I'm a caring, loving, good hearted person. And I always thought, well, is it me? Is it me? And it's not me, because I have values. Um, I have morals. Um, I respect myself. What I'm about values is I value a lot of things in my life, and I'm humbled. And what I'm about morals is I live by a certain standard in my life, and I'm not some loosey goosey girl that's just out there. So I'm sorry, people are, every time I do a video, someone's always texting me. You can hear Drake in the background singing. But yeah, I cherish my life, and I cherish my body and things about me, and I'm just not going to do things to make you or anyone else happy. That's not how I live my life, and that's not how anyone should live their life. I'm confident in myself, and I know that once God has set my life the way it was, once I have allowed God to put things where they should be in my life, and accept things that I should accept in my life, and begin to prosper, I know that he will bring whoever and whatever in my life. Once things begin to build themselves up, you have to allow your foundation to set. And once it's set and gotten cemented in, you can begin to build on top of your foundation. If you have a rocky foundation, your tower is going to fall. So I just, I'm just trying to be patient. And you're probably like, well, you were smiling and happy about the other guy the other day. Well, let's just kind of get into that. Like, I've been knowing him since I was in fifth grade. I've been dating him ever since I was dating on and off since I was in sixth grade, and I'm 21 years old. I was recently on the phone with him a couple of nights ago, and I was just like, saying, I don't want to keep doing this with you. Like, I don't want to keep going back and forth with you if you're not going to be serious with me. What are we doing? I'm an adult. I'm grown. You're grown. There's no reason for us to keep revisiting this if it's not going to go anywhere. And he was like, I'm different. I've changed. And I'm like, I have to be the judge of that because you say that all the time. You do the same shit over and over again. He cheats, he lies, and he makes up dumbass excuses. He doesn't treat me as if I'm important to him. He calls me whenever he wants to. He wants me to please him all the time, and it's never the other way around. And he's very sexual. And as you guys know, I'm a virgin. He was actually surprised that I was still one because I guess he thought that I wasn't anymore. And he's just like making, keep saying like, oh, we're gonna get together and we're gonna do this and do that. And I'm like, what makes you think that you're just as, you're more, um, you're better than the other guys that I'm going to give my virginity to you because I didn't give it to them. Like if I didn't give it to them, I'm just think I'm gonna give it to you. You haven't showed me no different than they have. That you're an asshole. So I mean, and like this is not even like a week. We haven't even been talking for a week. And knowing that he's very sexual, I know this already. Um, you know, we can't have no conversations on the phone. He was like, "Oh, your voice is so hot. I just want to talk to you and talk to you and talk to you and all that." And like every conversation I have, I don't want it to be about sex. I My mind is on a lot of other shit than sex. Like, let's talk about the fact that I'm about to have surgery in 9 days. Let's talk about the fact that I'm on a liquid diet and I have no support. And, let's talk about the fact that I'm in college and that I'm trying to do good. And, let's talk about some real shit that matters besides what color my drawers are, and then when I was sitting there in my bed, I realized like my light bulb that should have came on long time ago, like it'll come on and then it'll go dim and then it'll go out, because you always have those guys that suave you back in, they kind of like, ooh, they get you to come back in, and he's one of those guys. I know he has a good heart, I know he means well, but his approach is so fucked up. And I know that he has issues. I'm not really sure what kind, but he definitely has issues. He doesn't like to open up to people. He doesn't like to give his heart. He's very reserved. And I've always thought that maybe I could change him. Maybe I can break his wall down. But y'all, I'm 21 years old. I'm a grown ass woman. I'm in college. I've been knowing this man since I was in fifth grade, and he hasn't changed. Like some shit has gotten better, but you can still see that old person coming out of him. And I'm just like, I'm not here for that. If you're not going to evolve into something better, then we don't need to talk. Like I deserve better, and you should want me to have better. You shouldn't want me to be stuck with you and you're not going to give me what I need. You should want me to go find someone who's going to give me what I need, but you're just being selfish. And then, he hasn't called me all day today. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll call you. I had to text him. He didn't text me. And that bothered me too because I don't know about y'all, but as a woman, I like having good morning text. I like you texting me and letting me know that you're thinking about me and making me feel special. Like, I don't want you to just call me at night and be like, what's up, baby? Well, I mean, it's been a long day. I haven't heard from you until 10 o'clock at night. Seriously? Like, that just kind of shows me that I'm not a priority to you. I'm more of an option. And if I'm an option, then I don't need to be with you. If I'm not a priority, then I'm definitely not going to be anything for you. I'm not going to be the only one texting, the only one calling. And it's also weird because he's a twin, and his twin brother has this weird crush on me, which really creeps me out. And his twin brother has always liked me, and so did his cousin. You're probably like, what the fuck? I know. Just bear with me here. But I've been knowing these people since we were younger, and his twin tried to play me one time when we were like kids. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so and so," and I'm like, "No, you're not. You guys are not identical twins." And trust me, he's been my boyfriend for forever. I know what he looks like. I know how he sounds. You guys don't sound alike. You don't look alike. You probably play that game with another girl, but you can't play with me. And I just told him, like, hey, I don't think this is appropriate. Like, your brother wouldn't like you talking to me or messaging me at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. He was like, oh, you guys don't go out. I'm like, it doesn't matter. He's my ex. I shut that shit down. And I was like, if you ever get a chance to talk to him, tell him I called him. And he just kind of like, first of all, he's been trying this shit for years to get me to talk to him. I'm not that type of woman. Um, that's not what I am about. I don't dibble and dabble in family members. That's disgusting. That's a whore, and I'm not a whore. Okay. It just because I'm not desperate. And I think he knows that already. It didn't even matter about weight. He loves every bit of this. But it's just that a lot of people feel that, and I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about people in general. A lot of people feel like just because you're overweight that you're desperate and that you'll do anything for a man or a woman, and you'll do this and you do that and you'll deal with whatever because you don't have a love life, or your dating doesn't exist. Well, that's a damn lie, because I can get any guy I want to get. Um, I have that type of confidence. I have a great personality. I am not put in the friend zone. If anyone's putting people in the friend zone, it's me. I'm putting your ass in the friend zone. I make the shots. Um, but it's just like I just know what I want. I'm very picky. I know what I like. And if you're not exactly what I want, or you're not offering anything for me, and you're not doing shit with your life, then I don't want to talk to you. I'm 21. He has to be. I can't. I know he's about 26 or 25, and he's doing shit that we were doing in high school. Like, I grew up in high school. I grew up in middle school. I grew up. Like, you're supposed to grow. As your life progresses, you're supposed to progress with it also. Your life is not supposed to be here and you're down here. That's not how shit works. You and your life are supposed to grow. It's like a tree. It just keeps going. But his shit is like leaning and leaning and leaning. And eventually someone's going to chop that shit down. And I'm not going to stay around and watch and watch his whole life crumble. And I can't save everybody. And so I just kind of, on Facebook, I was going down memory lane, like looking at old exes and how they were acting now. And it was just sad to see the shit that I was like seeing. I'm like, these guys are still assholes after all these years. And that just shows you that don't rekindle a damn flame. If the flame wasn't uh, flickering, burning, on fire, then why spark that shit back up? Because guess what? It's going to go flat, just like it was. You can't turn an ex into Prince Charming. He's an ex for a reason. Not a check, an ex. Leave his eyes in the X book, okay? So I made a decision to stop talking to him. It's hard because I I think I like him more than he likes me. I think I care about him more than he cares about me. And it's not that I care about him on a boyfriend girlfriend level. I care about him more than a protector, more like a friend, more like I've been knowing you for a long time. I see your potential, and I want to help you get there. But you can't help someone who doesn't want to get help. And if he can't see how much of a wonderful woman I am, then I don't need him. I don't need it. And I was upset and I was crying and I was just like, why can I ever find someone who will treat me exactly the way I'm supposed to be treated? Why can't I find someone who will be there for me and hold my hand? And then I thought to myself, well, you have that person. You've always had that person. And if you put your trust in that person and let that person know that they are and acknowledge that what they do is is being appreciated, then that person will allow the person on earth to come to you in their image and love you. And the person I'm talking about is God. And I feel like if I really acknowledge my relationship with God and really begin to focus more on God and the things that He has allowed in my life and just kind of manifest on that and pray. And I think that God, when He feels is necessary and when He feels I'm ready, He'll bring that person to me that I deserve. Besides me focusing on bullshit and letting all these other stragglers come along and I pick them up for what? To cause headache, pain, and confusion, you know? So when you are tunnel focused on something and you pray and you meditate and get your life together, everything begins to fall in place. All your stars will be aligned. But when you begin to shift off into things that don't matter, it's when other shit, people, and things begin to knock you down out of your focus. Stay focused. Like God said, I'm not really sure what the actual scripture was, but when the guy walked on the water, yeah, I said, guy, I need to brush up on that. But he said, look at me. Don't look at the water. Look at me. So look at God and focus and pray. And even if you're not religious, just try to meditate and get to know yourself and love yourself. Um, and things will begin to fall in place. You just got to believe it in here. Everything that's supposed to happen, you can't see it. You're supposed to think it, believe it, and know it's going to happen. And eventually it will. But it won't happen until you believe it. Like, I never thought I would get surgery. I I was like, I've been wanting this since I was in middle school. Ever since I knew about it. Ever since I knew I could get it, I've been wanting it. And I'm like, I'm never going to get surgery. I'm never going to get surgery. And then all of a sudden, I begin to say, I am. I am. I wrote a goal on the wall. I achieved my goal. I saved my money. I showed God that I could do exactly what I said I was going to do. I could stop shopping, stop getting my hair done, stop getting my nails done, stop going on expensive trips, stop everything and save my money. Focus, pray, and focus. And I showed God that I was ready. And look at God. I'm having surgery in 9 days. So that's just, living truth that if you really, really believe in anything that you do, then it'll happen. So don't let other people around you, relationships, friendships, anything like that stop you. You can do this. Weight loss, you can do this. Goals, you can do it. Because you know, and I know, that everybody else and everything else doesn't matter if you don't believe in yourself. All right. Love you guys. Bye.